So the premiere for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3 is just a few hours away as of right now, at least on AMC Plus, and I'm excited for this first episode. I really cannot wait to watch it. I will be doing my review tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I'll have my review breaking down the whole first episode. There's actually going to be a lot of stuff because I've heard some things about the episode where they're going to give us a lot of details on things, I guess about obviously the military and all that in London and what happened when the apocalypse first happened. And so there's a lot of things like that where I'm just like, well, I'll have to break down everything and get into, what everything means and all of that. So expect a lot of videos breaking down like all of the details and everything that we do learn about, I guess, London and I guess Spain, because I imagine that in this first episode, they are going to end up in Spain by, I guess, the ending. And I'm really wondering how this is going to end. Like, how is this first episode going to end? I think it's just going to be them on the shore most likely, but like, what if it ends, with the storm happening and then it's just like a cliffhanger, like what's going to happen next kind of thing, right? So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Now, the premiere is just a few hours away, which is really exciting. I cannot wait for this first episode here. I can't believe that it's been a year since season 2 has aired. I really feel like this year just flew right by. Like, I honestly can't believe it's been that long since season 2, because season 2, I feel like we were all just talking about the whole season and, just kind of, I guess, complaining about everything there. And then Dead City came out. I think this is the thing, like, The Walking Dead needs more episodes. It needs more content out there because that's what builds up the excitement. And I think having less of it is really just, a lot of people are like, I don't really care as much because people like all the stuff connected and everything. And so I think they need to do a lot more of that. And I think Dead City, as much as people could complain about the story and certain things, I think the more episodes did really help a lot. I really do believe that. And I think for season 3, having 7 episodes, it's going to help out quite a bit. And we'll have to wait and see where season 4 goes. But we know that it's going to be 8 episodes. So that's really awesome. And I hope that other Walking Dead projects in the future, because it's rumored that they're actually working on one right now. And so I hope that it's at least like a minimum 8 episodes. But I do hope for more. I do hope it's like 10 episodes or, because everybody seems to want more episodes. That just seems to be the thing. Like everyone wants at least like 10 episodes or more than that. Honestly, when Gimple was talking about 16 episodes, I know he was just talking about things in general. Like they're always talking about different formats, if it's 6 episodes or like 16 or just, I can't remember exactly what he said, but a lot of people were like, yes, 16 episodes. You really have to go back to 16 episodes. And I think that that is just what really works with The Walking Dead. It's really exciting that like when a season is here, it's here for a while, right? Like when it's here in October, I'm thinking back to the old days of The Walking Dead. Whenever it was here in October, it was like, okay, this is going to be a show we watch until March or April, right? And it was fun. And we had a little bit of a break. And I know a lot of people complained about that as well, but it was still like The Walking Dead is here. And then in the summer, it was like, that was our break from The Walking Dead. Whereas now it just feels more like, all right, we have this show for the next, I guess, 7 weeks or whatever. And then, if you're a fan of this show, you have to wait a year to watch it. Unless you're a fan of Dead City, then that works, right? And I think that's the issue with the spinoffs right now is like, there are some that do like both spinoffs, but some only like this one or the other one, and they have to wait a whole year to watch the other one, right? So then you have to promote it that much more, right? But yeah, anyways, the premiere is going to be here in a couple of hours, and so I'm really excited to actually watch this episode. And yeah, again, tomorrow I'm going to have a lot of content. I'm going to have my review, trailer breakdown for episode 2, and then also talk about I guess a couple of the scenes there and break everything down a lot more in depth. I'm just really looking forward to this first episode because a lot of people say it's a strong premiere. So I'm going in though, I'm going to have lower expectations because I don't want to go in thinking it's going to be a really like masterpiece of a, I guess premiere, because again, if you're going in thinking it's going to be a 10 out of 10, then you're probably going to be let down, right? So just go in thinking it's going to be like Dead City Season 2, and you'll probably be like, wow, that was actually a pretty good episode, right? So yeah, I'm really excited about this, but let's actually get into the Q&A here. I do want to answer some questions here, I guess, about The Walking Dead in general. And yeah, Q&A, do you think we will ever get another 16 episode series, or is 6 to 8 episodes better? I think that we will get another 16 episode series. It might just be something that, we have to wait for a little bit. I do think that at some point it is going to happen. It's just, again, it's one of those things where I think we have to wait until, these spinoffs are over, because I think that these spinoffs are just, it's going to be, I guess, 8 episodes. And I do think that AMC is going to start having more of their shows have more episodes, because I've noticed with their other shows as well, they're all getting like 8 episodes. So I do think that it is changing, because the 6 episode format, I don't know why they ever went to 6 episodes. It really just does not work. It's never worked. And if you're looking at The Walking Dead, like, I know it's 16 episodes, but they do it in like 8 episode blocks, right? So you have 8 episodes in the very, I guess beginning of, the fall or whatever, in Halloween, and then you have another 8 episodes in the winter. So like, perfect, right? And I think people like stories like that. And so 8 episodes works, but I still think 16 is like the perfect number. And then just have the characters all together. I think that would be something that everyone would watch for, like, easily. Q&A, do you think we will get any updates on what happened to Laurent and Ash in season 3? I think that we probably will hear about them, but I don't think there will be any other updates. I think that stuff will happen in season 4. But even then, I really think it's going to be a finale thing. Like, the very last episode of this show will probably get something there. And that's kind of what I'm expecting, because I don't think we're going to learn too much about what happened to Laurent and Ash, because I don't think it makes a lot of sense for them to learn anything. So, it'll be something that, if they're about to escape or go back home, they might just show up in that very last episode. Maybe they're there to actually save them, right? So to me, that's probably going to be what happens. I think if they're just like gone and like that's it, that would be like, wait, what? Like, that would be something where I'd be like, that makes no sense. Like, they're just back at the Commonwealth and that's it. Like, that would be a big plot hole. But anyways, Q&A, do you think we should get a few more spinoffs before the characters reunite and then move on to a new generation of the Walking Dead universe? Well, I think that, like, honestly, what I really want is an original series. Like, I don't want a spinoff on other characters. I just don't think it works, really. I honestly, like, I just don't think it works, really. Like, I think it has worked for the most part with Daryl and with Maggie and with the other characters, but it is just something that, like, when the characters are together, everyone watches, because everyone likes the group together. It just works really well. It really does. And it worked for the last however many seasons of The Walking Dead. People really did like that. And I just think that I want to see more of that. And for other spinoffs, like, honestly, just do original series, because I think as much as people complained about World Beyond, it was actually still a cool story. I think a lot of people liked the story of World Beyond. And, I think they more didn't like, I guess, the characters and all of that, but the story for the most part people liked, and they liked seeing the CRM and all of that. And Fear the Walking Dead, again, like, the first couple of seasons of that show was just incredible. I think doing an original series where you have good writers there, because again, World Beyond, it had nothing to do with the writing. I think the writing was for the most part fine. It really was just the characters that just weren't the most relatable, because on The Walking Dead, everyone complains about like Carl or like, all the other kid characters. And so World Beyond was a show about that. And like, obviously not a lot of people were going to like that. So I think that having a show, an original series with other characters where they can meet these other characters and it's a different group and it starts in the very beginning of the apocalypse, people would watch that. That would be so refreshing, so exciting. And that's probably what they need to do. Get all the characters back together, tell a final story where you can get Rick and Daryl to reunite, but then do another original series or something. And then, eventually do a next generation spinoff or something, because I think that would be really exciting and would be really refreshing for The Walking Dead. And Q&A, would they ever address the issue that people have 14 years left on the planet? Is that going to set up a massive reunion and a massive time jump like the comic books? I think that is something that could come up potentially. The time jump, I don't think so. I do think the 14-year thing is something that, again, I do want to say they're going to bring that up at some point again, but it is also something that is really frustrating because, like, Gimple brings up a lot of stuff. He'll introduce this idea, and it's just like, whoa, like, this is kind of cool. What could this mean? And then it's years later and we still don't know. So I want to say that, yes, we are going to, find out about that at some point, but I just don't know. I really don't know. I feel like the whole 14-year thing, like, it makes some sense. And I also think that the 14-year thing would be kind of a cool thing, like, if it was right. If Beale was right about that. But because, Rick and Michonne are going to be giving supplies out to everybody, maybe it's even less than that now. And so that becomes a really big thing in the next story. And, you know, just sort of like the Jenner thing when Rick found out about the walkers and like, you know, everyone has it, everyone's gonna, you know, turn to a walker no matter what. Maybe the echelon briefing is something that is actually real and is actually going to happen. And, you know, they're making it worse. And maybe that's something that Rick has to live with. I think that would be really cool. But I don't know. I really don't know if that's something that Gimple's going to get into, because again, he introduces a lot of stuff and just like never really goes there. And the Triple P card is, you know, something I really want to know, like what is all of that? And there's just nothing there. And he doesn't really seem to be getting into all of that. And that's the thing too, like he talked about the fact that he knows what it is, or he wrote a lot of stuff for it. So like he knows what to do with everything, but why aren't we seeing a lot of this? I think it's time to get into a lot of these stories here. So anyways, I'm going to leave it here though, because this video is getting pretty long, but I do see a lot of other questions here. So I will answer those in another Q&A. And yeah, but tonight is going to be the premiere of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3, so definitely make sure to go and check it out. Anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post your thoughts down below, and stay tuned for my review coming out tomorrow. And yeah, let's hope that this is a really great episode.